The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Siegen Lane.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping that all is well with you and yours in your world. Since the last time we had the opportunity to spend a little time with you and yours, we start today's show with yet another sobering reminder of the dangers that the brave men and women of blue face on a daily basis. The entire law enforcement community, and certainly for those of us that believe in law and order, is in mourning today after Master Trooper Adam Gobert ambushed and killed in part of a deadly crime spree over the weekend. It is part and parcel of what we have seen as part of a trend, a very troubling trend, mind you, of a growing disrespect for law and order in our country. It is something that law enforcement knows every single day when they leave their homes to report for their shift is a reality. They, in my mind, are above and beyond most of us mere mortals because they understand the risk every single day. And despite being outmanned, outgunned, underpaid, and underappreciated, they still elect to do the job. It is a sad commentary on what our society has become. Because at the end of the day, whether you are pro-law enforcement or anti-law enforcement, if you have a functioning brain to whatever degree, you have to understand and entertain the concept that individuals that will do something like this to those who have sworn to protect and serve, if they'll do it to them, God only knows what they will do to the civilian population. We would certainly be remiss in our duties if we did not take the opportunity to send our sincerest condolences to the family of Master Trooper Adam Gobert. an Army veteran, and a 19-year servant of the public of Louisiana in law enforcement. Funeral and visitation arrangements have been announced. There will be a visitation on Friday, October 15th, from 5 in the evening until 8 p.m. It will be held at Rest Haven Funeral Home on Jefferson Highway here in Baton Rouge. There will likewise be a visitation on Saturday, October 16th, from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. at St. George Catholic Church. That's located at 7808 St. George Drive here in Baton Rouge. The funeral mass is set for Saturday, October 16th, beginning at 11 a.m. That will be at St. George Catholic Church as well. It is something that it pains me deeply to say we are intimately familiar with in Baton Rouge. We have seen more than our fair share, and I would go so far as to say far too many of these brave men and women killed in the line of duty here in South Louisiana. I would imagine your thought process is certainly similar to mine, in that as an individual who was at the time a daily member of the working media, when we lost the BRPD officers to that, I can't say what I'm thinking, but you probably know what I'm thinking. The guy from Kansas City that came down here in the wake of the Alton Sterling situation and unleashed carnage on our law enforcement officers here. Every single time we lose an officer to something like this, I immediately flash back to that fateful day. It is something that we as a society need to come to grips with. Because if we don't, again, it is a situation where you don't have to be the brightest bulb in the chandelier to realize that if someone will do this to a law enforcement officer, they have no qualms, no reservations, no hesitation at all about doing the same thing to you and I. God rest Master Trooper Adam Gobert, and our sincerest condolences to his family and the law enforcement family as well. Speaking of troubling trends in our society, and particularly here in Louisiana, the Covington Police Department announcing this weekend that 2 other individuals have now been arrested in connection with the attack on a disabled teacher at Covington High School. It is believed to have been inspired by trends on the platform TikTok. And 18-year-old Lariana Jackson caught on video punching a 64-year-old disabled teacher in a wheelchair, knocking her to the ground. 2 others filmed this despicable act and then posted it on social media for all the world to see. These 2 individuals who filmed the attack and posted it are facing a charge of unlawful posting of criminal activity for notoriety and publicity. The police department has identified one of the suspects as 18-year-old Trinity Gervais. The 3rd suspect is a juvenile, and as you well know, that name will not be released. It is an indictment of our society, y'all. You know, it's one thing, and we have seen this grow with troubling frequency. It's one thing for our young people to engage in despicable criminal acts of this sort. But you have to wonder what sort of parenting, what sort of societal influence is guiding young people to engage in despicable criminal acts and then have no qualms about posting it on social media for all the world to see. Listen, y'all, I get it. I understand it's a different day. Truly, I do. But you know, at some point in the not too distant past, shame dictated our actions. There were things we did not do because we were sorely afraid of how it would reflect on our families, on our parents, our communities, and ourselves. Some things we wouldn't do just because we didn't want to be shamed by our actions. That's not to say we didn't do certain things, but we certainly would not engage in criminal activity and then go out of our way to tell everybody who would listen, look what I did. Our children are speaking to us, y'all, in no uncertain terms. And the ages of our young people that are involved in despicable behavior continues to become lower and lower and lower. I don't know how long we are going to and how long we can continue to hit the snooze bar. The alarm is blaring. And for whatever reason, we find ways to dismiss it. If you look at the, quote, mugshot of this 18-year-old female that carried out this despicable act against a handicapped teacher, there is a smirk on her face that should tell you everything you need to know. Not only did she engage in this despicable criminal behavior, not only was it filmed and posted on social media, but she then, in having her picture taken, her mugshot, pretty much flipped off the rest of us. First break of today's show. We'll get it done. When we come back, it is Tuesday. We're heading up on segment 2 of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, which means, that's right, it's time for another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. That's next when we continue the Clarence Bug Show here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions
Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Go where summer leads you in an award-winning Mazda CUV. Find yours during Mazda's season of discovery.
Call, click, or come by and discover your new Mazda today at Baton Rouge's Mazda dealer, Team Mazda on Airline.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing. You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day. Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you are new to the show, new to the station, new to the area, you may not know that in response to the ever-growing level of stupidity in our country, we have instituted a new segment that we call, Now That's Just Stupid. Now, you'll notice as you see the graphic on the screen, it's not spelled the way we traditionally spell stupid, S-T-U-P-I-D. S-T-U-P-I-D is just everyday, run-of-the-mill, garden variety, stupid. What we are talking about here is an entire level above stupid. That's why we spell it S-T-O-O-P-I-D, as in, now that's just stupid. We start in California, and yeah, I'm gonna say it, the granola state. Take out the fruits and the flakes, ain't nothing left but the nuts. California. How many times have I tried to inform you guys and girls that the left, Democrats / liberals / progressives, want to control every single aspect of your lives. What you can eat, what you can't eat. What you can drink, what you can't drink. What you can drive, what you can't drive. What kind of light bulb you can use, what kind you can't. And the list goes on and on and on. You know full well, all across our country, there are institutions of higher learning, universities, that have mandated you have to get the COVID jab. If you don't get it, you can't set foot on campus, and you cannot set foot in a classroom. We're all familiar with that by now. But UCLA, arguably, along with Stanford, one of the most prestigious universities on the entire West Coast, Last week, Herschel Walker's son, who is a student at UCLA, was informed that unless he informs the administration at UCLA about his status with the COVID shot, that he could not continue his education. Here's the rub, y'all. Christian Walker never sets foot on the campus of UCLA. Every single one of his classes, wait for it, are online. You heard me right. Every single class he takes are online. He never sets foot on their campus. But because he won't inform the administration on his vaccine status, he is going to be kicked out. Now, can somebody tell me how in God's name it makes any sense at all to deny an individual an education when all of their classes are online, never has to set foot on the campus, but they're going to kick him out of school because he won't get the jab and tell them he has it? It really makes you wonder what their motives are behind all of this. Now, whether you believe or not that the COVID jab is something other than a vaccine, that's up to you. But at the end of the day, the rationale that they are using to put this crap in the arms of our young people on college campuses is, well, if you come on campus and you don't have the vaccine, you might infect somebody else. This guy has not and has no plans to set foot anywhere near the campus of UCLA. Every single one of his classes he takes on his laptop or his desktop. But they're going to kick him out because he won't report his vaccine status. What the hell is this all about, y'all? Well, that's rhetorical. We already know what it's about. What did I tell you at the start of this segment? It's all about control. We don't care about your education. We just want to control you. Pure and simple. Pure and simple. From the left coast, the granola state, we move all the way across the pond to Britain. You know, if I were to preface this segment with something, I would quote the great statesman, philosopher, and law enforcement officer, Barney Fife. You got to nip it in the bud. There are some things, y'all, we need to stop the second it starts. Because if we don't, we will end up with insanity like this. British Airways has decided, you know, when you get on a plane to go somewhere and you hear the engines start to rev, or if you're sitting at a window seat, you see the ground crew in their vests. They come out and they remove the wheel chock, the big block that stops the plane from rolling backward or forward. And you know, all right, we're getting close. We're getting ready to get on up. And the captain then will come on the intercom and announce, good morning, good evening, whatever the case may be. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting set to depart. We've been cleared by the tower. We are third in line on the runway, and we will be leaving, insert airport name here, in just a matter of moments. It's what they do. Well, British Airways has announced that they are banning their pilots from using the term ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, trying to appease the woke crowd. The airline started using gender-neutral language in response to apparent complaints. Now, as is typically the case, when a story like this breaks, the news media will interview people on the pro side and the con side of whatever the issue is, if they're, responsible. So, Travel Daily Media, a website that focuses on travel issues. What are the trends in travel? How will it affect travelers, et cetera, et cetera. So when British Airways came out and announced, we are banning the term ladies and gentlemen, they started looking around for some folks that were on the pro side of this. So they found an LGBTQ plus, whatever the hell they have added since the last time I said it, found an organization that is all in favor of British Airlines respecting the rights of everybody. And this individual, in justifying why his organization feels this is a great move by British Airways, said the following: a non-binary person is, quote, someone who thinks that their gender identity and gender experience involves being both a man and a woman, or that is fluid in between a man and a woman, or altogether outside the binary. End of quote. When I read that quote, someone who thinks that their gender identity and gender experience involves being both a man and a woman, I thought about Marty. My facial expression was the following. So let me get this straight. The left, and obviously you know what political affiliation this clown that said this, you know who he identifies with, right? That's rhetorical. You don't have to answer. We all know. Lefty, liberal. We've now gone from boys can be girls and girls can be boys to you can be both. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. Now you can be female and be a male, and you can be male and be a female, or you can be both. See, that's why you have to stop this kind of crap the second it starts. Because when you don't, this is what you end up with. And I get it. A lot of y'all, you want to go along to get along. You don't want to offend anybody's sensitivities, and you want to be politically correct. How's that working out for us? Just a question. How's that working out for us? You know how it's working out? You end up on the Clarence Bugg Show in the second segment on Tuesday when he tells you, you just stupid. Just saying. Just saying. Bottom of the hour break. We'll get her done. I want to come back and share a little epiphany with you when we continue today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. As a side note, every now and then, in the midst of all the confusing points of view regarding the origin of COVID, the mandates around COVID, the effectiveness of the jab, the COVID shot. Every now and then you run across an individual that has managed to boil it all down to the simplest of terms. And as a guy that's blessed with a modicum of common sense, I'm one of those that naturally gravitates toward the train of thought. The simplest things are the best things. Uncomplicated, easy to digest, simple things. For me, and many of my ilk, those are the best things. A nurse at the end of last week posted something regarding the COVID shot that really boiled it down to the simplest common denominator for me. Let me share this simple tweet with you, if I may. It reads, "The protected," meaning those who are now protected because they have gotten the jab, "the protected need to be protected from the unprotected, those who have not gotten the jab. The protected need to be protected from the unprotected by forcing the unprotected to use the protection that didn't protect the protected." Y'all digest that. I'm going to read it again for you. The protected need to be protected from the unprotected by forcing the unprotected to use the protection that didn't protect the protected. What does that tell you? Let me change it. The vaccinated need to be protected from the unvaccinated by forcing the unvaccinated to use the vaccine that didn't protect the vaccinated. These are the clowns that are running the public health system in this country. These idiots are the ones. Of course, now that may well explain the poll that came out last week that pretty much said nobody in America has faith in our public health system anymore. Oh, imagine that. Imagine that. Meanwhile, yet another instance of the leader of the free world refusing to answer questions. On Friday, President Joe Biden, delivered yet another address to the media regarding last month's job report issued by the U.S. Labor Department. Experts and the Biden administration had expected that there would be about 500,000 new jobs created. The actual number, 194,000. Way less than half of the jobs that they expected to create. So after delivering this dismal jobs report to the media, what did Joe Biden do? you already know what he did, right? He turned his back to the media and sauntered out of the room. You know, you can say what you will about then President Donald Trump. But whatever the issue was, you could ask him about it. Whether you liked the answer or not, whether you agreed with it or not, Donald Trump would at least have the dignity, the respect to talk to the media, with the media and the American people. This guy is a clown. You are the leader of the freaking free world, and we can't ask you a damn question? What is this about? And he has no qualms. Well, actually, he'll slip and tell you, I've been told by whom, not to take questions. He'll slip and tell you, I'll get in trouble if I answer the questions. Is this what you voted for? Now, as insulting as this is, for you to refuse to answer questions and inform the American public, it amounts, in essence, to you dictating to us. I don't have to answer no questions. I'm not going to tell you crap. You just do what I say. Excuse me? If that weren't bad enough, not only will this guy not take questions, but come Friday, they shut down the White House and Joe Biden's out of here, going to Delaware. You know that there is something seriously going wrong and something going on when even CBS and NPR, and we're talking between CBS and NPR, start to complain. Recently, Joe Biden, after refusing to answer questions on an issue and then jumping on Marine One and taking off for the weekend, CBS said, you know, something kind of strange is going on here. So they did an analysis of every weekend since Joe Biden became president. According to CBS reporter Mark Knoller, this was a couple of weekends ago. The tweet reads as follows: by my count, this is Biden's 24th trip to Delaware as president. That brings his weekend count to 19 weekends in Delaware, 10 weekends at Camp David, 1 weekend overseas at the G7 summit, and 8 at the White House. So come Friday, little bit after noon, Joe gone. Brandon is nowhere to be found. And to add more insult to injury, not only is he not at the White House, and listen, I get it, Camp David, got the weight of the world on your shoulders, you want to get away. But bruh, you're the leader of the freaking free world. our country is facing crisis after crisis after crisis. Not only does he skip out and go hide out in Delaware, the White House will not release what he's doing in Delaware, who he's meeting with, who he's consulting with. The White House refuses to release this information. And yet, we were told, well, y'all suckers were told, we are going to be the most transparent administration in history. I don't know what history he's talking about, but this doesn't hold up to history that I know about. Since the man moved into the White House, y'all, 19 weekends in Delaware. And we're not talking, traditionally, you and I, regular folk, say weekend, you're talking Saturday, Sunday. Not Joe. We're talking 12 o'clock Friday, and on a good day, I'm back on Tuesday. 19 weekends in Delaware, 10 weekends at Camp David, and 8 at the White House. Meanwhile, what's up with the White House building a fictitious White House set in a building across the street? Have y'all heard about this? The White House has built a fake set in a building across the street from the White House that makes it look like when Joe Biden signs an executive order, when he reads a statement, he's not in the White House. He's in a building across the street that has a designed fake set to make it look like he's in the White House. I would imagine that's probably so that you don't have to let reporters in and have them shout questions at you while you turn your narrow behind to the camera and walk out the room. But this is the most transparent administration in history. If you believe that, Marty says he's got a mountaintop beachfront brothel, complete with employees in Bruley, that he'll let you buy real, real cheap.
No, I'm keeping that.
No, you keeping that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You can have the one next door.
You can have the one next door. Yeah, it's 2 of them in Bruley. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And this is what you voted for. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with Manda Fine Meats. Here at Manda, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. Manda Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. Manda Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it Manda every time.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Tremonti's has meat. Tremonti's has seafood. Tremonti's has much more. Tailgating and home gating platters. Huge wine and liquor selection. Beer and all the spices you need. Chairman Reserve and Wagyu meats. Ribeye rolls, shrimp rolls, kebabs. 20 flavors of sausage for the grill. daily lunch specials, and game processing. On-site catering also available. Good meat ain't cheap and cheap meat ain't good. Visit Tremontes.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready. And health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back to the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, you've heard me say on more than one occasion, one of the things that for me as an American is most disheartening is how we have watched the left destroy faith and confidence in institutions in this country that over time have been some of the most trusted entities anywhere on the planet. Institutions of higher learning have become centers of indoctrination. The public health care system has a trust level that is plummeting faster than you can drop a rock off a mountaintop. As a matter of fact, Reason magazine conducted a poll recently of both folks like you and I, regular Americans, and they also did another poll with health care professionals, asking them about their trust in the agencies that have guided the response to the COVID pandemic. Let me read this to you from this poll conducted by Reason magazine. Quote, trust in the Centers for Disease Control and the Food and Drug Administration has decreased dramatically during the COVID-19 pandemic among healthcare professionals. WebMD/Medscape noted back in June, out of nearly 2,000 U.S. nurses surveyed, 77% of the nurses, 77% said their trust in the CDC has decreased since the start of the pandemic. 51% of the nurses polled said their trust in the FDA has decreased. Meanwhile, out of 450 doctors surveyed in the same time period, again, 77% said their trust in the CDC has decreased. 48% have had their trust in the FDA decrease. Quote, we've taken to lionizing doctors nurses, and other frontline healthcare workers. Indeed, especially in the pandemic when no one knew much about COVID-19 or the coronavirus. The raw courage that it took for doctors and nurses to treat sick people was truly remarkable. And yet, now they are being demonized. Many are having their livelihoods threatened if they don't take the jab. You know, it's funny how quickly the left will sell you something and then turn right around and use it against you. How many times have we talked on this show about how Joe Biden and Kamala Harris made no bones about telling the whole country, if Donald Trump had anything to do with that shot, I wouldn't trust it and I wouldn't take it. So what did the most loyal Democrats in America do, black folk? They took that advice. They don't trust it, and they're not going to take it. And what now are they doing? They're demonizing you. They're calling you all sorts of ugly names, and they threaten your job if you don't take it. And yet, some of y'all gonna still vote for these clowns. I don't mean and don't want to be ugly about it, but when you do, you're gonna get exactly what you deserve. Yeah, I said it. When you vote for them again, you're gonna get exactly what you deserve. Some of y'all ain't gonna get that till later. That's all right, long as you get it. Just saying. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Old School Barbecue is where we tape the show live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Got a hankering for some good food served by some good folks in a good atmosphere. It's where you need to be. Time's up, y'all, and I gotta go. But this day, once again, just like any other, I give it to you. You know what? You're right. America, we're not perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's still the best there is. And God knows there's no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. Either way, there ain't a doggone thing you can do about either one. We're off tomorrow. We'll see you Thursday. God bless.